Good morning, friends. It has done nothing but rain for the last several days. I think we had one day where I had the majority of the day where I could come out and do a little bit of work in the garden. Didn't get a whole lot done. Thankfully, we're at that point to where mostly it's just weeding and keeping up with pest management. There are some things that I could be planting right now, like radishes and things like that. It's raining so much the seeds would probably get washed away, so I'm not doing that. What I am doing is planting these little guys. These are yellow pear suckers. That I cut off of my yellow pear tomato plant that is in the ground. It has some nice roots, but the leaves are starting to look a little yellow. But today we are going to plant these little guys in these buckets. And I have two more over here that are just, I think, large red cherries. I'm planting them here because I don't really want them in the garden. I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment to see how they do, and I will update you as we go. All right, let's get planting. All right, that was probably the quickest, easiest planting job. They're all in the buckets. They could use a little bit more dirt up on top, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So first up, this is the ground cherry that I brought from our old house. At the end of the season, I took a couple of ground cherries and just threw them in the bucket, hoping that they would volunteer themselves. So I sort of winter sowed them, and clearly it did well. There is, I believe, 3 of them in this bucket. This bucket is being given to my sister-in-law. She loves them, and when she comes up, she will be taking that home. Then I have the 2 red tomatoes, and then the 4 yellow pears. Alright, that was probably the easiest job that I'll have in the garden today. So before I leave the garden, I'm going to do a little bit of weeding, and I'm going to see if I can catch any of those little green cabbage caterpillars for my chickens. So let's go! Stopping off at my new cabbages, looking for cabbage caterpillars, and I am noticing some gnarly discoloration in the leaves. And at first I was thinking maybe that's from the water, from so much rain. I mean, you can see the standing water here. But then I just looked it up very quickly, and it said that the leaves can turn dark purple, red, or orange if there is a magnesium deficiency. They can also turn purple if there is a nitrogen deficiency. So I will be looking into that and seeing what I can do about that. The other thing that I noticed is, funny story, in this bed I had broadcasted dill, like 2 envelopes of self-saved seed of dill, so probably 500 seeds. No kidding. And they weren't coming up, so I went ahead and I planted the celery, the cabbage, and the flowers in the middle. But look what's coming up. All that baby dill. But I'm gonna leave the dill and weed out all the other crabgrass that is sneaking in as much as possible. But that's how we get double plantings here, because my initial plan starts to work and I've already moved on to plan B because I'm impatient. There's a lesson to be had here. My kale is looking great. Very, very holy, which is fine because I've taken most of it and I'm just going to turn it into a kale powder. The newer leaves are looking good though, so that's nice. But here is what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for right here. See that? That is a cabbage moth caterpillar. I'm gonna try and not squish him. There it is. So those pretty white little butterflies that you see fluttering around all your brassicas, your cabbages, your kales, your Brussels sprouts, broccoli, cauliflower, I think that's all. That is the little eggs that they lay on the underside. I don't see any to show you, but they hatch oh yep, there we go. See that right there? The tiny little yellow thing? That is going to be a cabbage butterfly, or a cabbage caterpillar. That will turn into this little green thing. I also found some grubs. They're going to be given to my chickens. So that's what I'm hunting. So I'm going to go take a look and see how many I can find for my chickens. Look at this borage. Isn't that beautiful? It's definitely been raining enough that I don't think it likes the rain at all. But I have pink flowers and purpley blue. Aren't they pretty? Look at that one. That one's both pink and purple. They're so pretty. Just lovely. Unfortunately, I don't think that this borage is going to be able to recuperate. All the other ones at the ends of the tomato beds are doing okay. This one's not so lucky. Looks like the chickens are going to get some Colorado potato beetle larvae too. Yuck. Alright, well, I guess the chickens aren't going to get too many green caterpillars. That's kind of their favorite. But at least they'll get some bug candy. Alright, now on to some weeding. So I'm weeding the second potato bed. This is what was supposed to be the asparagus bed, and the asparagus that I planted didn't grow. I'm weeding out all of the typical weeds, like that one right there. That's a potato. This is a weed, it's grass. Then I came to, oh my gosh, that's an asparagus. It decided to grow. I can't believe it. It's the only one that I see in this bed so far. Wow. I can't believe it. That's awesome. I have one survivor, which clearly is dismal results, but that is super, super, super cool. Huh. So I'll protect that little baby and see how well it does. But I thought that was really cool. I've worked my way down to the onion bed and I've weeded everything up to this point. These are onions and leeks. They look fantastic. But then when we get to the red burgundy onions, oof, they apparently like it much drier than what we've had. They are quite literally rotting in the soil. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the ones that are still left. I'm going to cut off the onion tops so that I can at least have some onion tops. Cut up the onions that are left behind, what little is left behind. I mean, look at, like, that's as far as that one got. So it's not really worth it to leave them in the ground. I can probably pull all these out, mulch the space, and leave it for some garlic. Yeah, I don't know if I'll grow these again. I think we just have too much rain and the soil's too wet, because the Southport Globe is doing great. They look beautiful. I kind of touched the bottom of this one and it does not look like it is rotted at all. And then the New York Early, they also look great. It's just the red burgundy. They are just too soft apparently for here. So those are gonna have to be removed. Bummer. The beds at the lower end of the garden are just in really rough shape. They have accumulated the most of the rain, and they are just so soggy. The nasturtiums that I planted at the corners, they are just drowning. You can see all of the water at the top of the soil. And unfortunately, we're supposed to have rain for the rest of this week. So I don't think these little guys are gonna make it. My beans are really struggling with all of the rain. They're trying. We've got sunflowers in there too. I was just looking to see if there's anything ripe on the lime green tomato plants, and check them out. Look at the blooms. That's just one plant. This is the other one. Look at all those blooms. That's amazing. I think I'm loving the determinate tomatoes. So much less work. Alright friends, I am tired and I am a mess. I have done just about all I'm going to do in the garden today, and I definitely need a shower. I'm completely muddy. So I've got my onions. I am going to dry up those onion tops and freeze whatever little bottoms that I can save, and feed my chickens the bugs that I caught. So, alright friends, thanks for watching. Bye bye for now.